Hi, I'm Coach Tom, and welcome to a special two-part Track the Trainer. As some of you may have noticed, and judging by the text messages you did, we didn't do a Track the Trainer last week, and I'll tell you why. Last week I came across some new, kind of controversial information, at least I thought it was kind of controversial, and so I went ahead and recorded Track the Trainer, but I didn't publish. I wanted to see the results and see what happened when I applied some of the things that I've learned. Turns out it was a fine experience. And so for now, here's part one of Track the Trainer, and then we'll have part two, which is this week's follow-up, and we'll see some of the good things that happened this week. So here you are, part one of Track the Trainer. Hi, I'm Coach Tom, and welcome to another Track the Trainer. Well, it was a pretty good week. I didn't quite make my goal, so close. 244.2. Didn't quite make 243. Thought I was going to get it, but we're more or less there. So we're right back on track, and we're getting back to where we need to be. So something interesting happened this week. Before we go any further, my sister, who's a physician, recommended a book to me. And I'm always skeptical with these types of books. But this is a book that, of course, she said was going to challenge everything I knew to be true about nutrition. And in fact, here's the book. It's called The Obesity Code. It's written by Dr. Jason Fung. He's a medical doctor. And she said, read it. She says, I'm not saying, I'm bought in, but she said it'll really challenge what you know to be true about nutrition. So I read it. I read it over the weekend, and she's right. It challenged everything I think I know about nutrition. And in the grand tradition of people in my profession, strength coaches, other coaches, personal trainers, I've decided to test it on myself and see how well this system works. I'm only going to go into very small detail. If you want to read the book, read the book. But the bottom line is that this book says, Dr. Fung says, obesity is not necessarily, in fact, not at all a factor of calories in versus calories out. Obesity is a factor of elevated insulin and insulin resistance. And in order truly to lose weight and maintain weight loss, a person needs to modify their diet so they're eating very, very limited amounts of refined sugar and other processed foods. And let's be honest, we all knew that. I don't think there's anybody on this planet that thinks refined foods and processed foods and refined sugar are a good idea. So that's pretty straightforward. He actually advocates for a higher level of fat in a diet. You have to make up those calories somewhere. So for a higher level of fat, saturated fat, no problem. He's fine with saturated fat. Not something I'm used to. Again, challenging what I know. The next thing that he talks about, if you really want to keep it off, he advocates for fasting. And long story short, the fasting is the process by which you bring the body's weight set point down, and so you are more likely to be successful with your weight loss long term. He cites a lot of scientific studies. The science looks pretty good. I don't know. I'm certainly not ready to recommend it to anybody, but I'm going to give it a shot. So starting today, I started the recommendations in this book. So we're going to have to make some changes to the tracking sheet. And one of those is I'm only going to eat 2 to 3 meals a day. I'm only going to really eat 3 to 4 days a week. So tomorrow, Thursday, and Saturday are going to be my fasting days. I can't stress this enough. I'm not recommending anybody do this. I'm not advocating for this book. I simply read it. It intrigued me. The science looks sound, so I'm going to give it a shot. I certainly encourage, if you have comments below, if anybody's tried this, let me know and tell me what you think. If you've tried something similar, let me know what kind of success you've had. But I'm interested, so I'm going to give it a shot. So we'll look over the next, I decided to give it 60 days. I'm going to give it 60 days and see how that affects my weight loss, how it affects my hunger. I'm afraid it's going to make me very hungry. I think fasting is going to be very, very challenging. But like anything, it's one of those things you get used to. So I'm going to give it a shot. So now what we're going to have to do is go over to the tracking sheet and see how it is that changes based on the information that we've gotten from the book. So again, any comments that you've got, I'd really like to hear, whether they're positive or negative. I'm open to it. I'm going to do it one way or the other. But if you think it's a good idea, if you don't think it's a good idea, let me know. And again, if you've done it, if this is something that you've done and it's been successful or hasn't been successful, if you have scientific evidence to disprove it, I'm very, very interested to hear what people have. So again, the book is The Obesity Code. It's by Dr. Jason Fung. And read it. I'm telling you, it'll challenge everything you think you know about nutrition. And now let's go to the tracking sheet and take a look at what we have to do to make the changes and test the theories in this book.